all of this is basically, let me just fix my thing here. All of this is basically pre-market, right? Some of this is, yeah, all of this is pre-market. You can see it's like consolidation, right? Therefore, really, the most basic, the most obvious levels you can put is like this high, right? And well, this same low, right? Because they're consolidating between these. Um, so once this happened, we can see that this is trying to break out. So using the 15-minute strat, we can see we got that breakout. Boom. Then we labeled this, right? So and then it it happened. But getting to the main point though, the easiest way to make a watch list. So this is uh just to really make a watch list. The easiest way to do that is by labeling pre-market highs and pre-market lows, right? I'm not gonna make it more complex than that, really. If you label the pre-market high and pre-market low, that will you will be good to go with a good levels for them to be broken during the day. Now, another thing that can be very important and you can take into play is the the high and the low of the levels in the first 30 minutes of market open. All right, so let's just look at this. So we can see market open right here. All right, so this is the first 30 minutes of market open. We can see we had this high and this low. All right, as you can see, this is the first kind of candle that is actually doing something, right? And we can see it's bullish, right? So what we basically want is, let me go back to the 5 minute, right? So what we basically want is, um, since the high and the low of the first 30 minutes of market are like this, we want for there to be some type of breakout, right? So or some type of bounce. So if it broke out and like you're already in, since you're using the 15-minute strat or something, oh, that's great. But I'll tell you this: the first 30 minutes of market highs and lows will be very very important to just know how the market is playing around, right? Because a great way to actually catch 100% plus plays is by using supply and demand zones, right? So say right here we can see, right, this is a zone, right? We can see this is a zone because it's getting those reaches. This is a zone, right? Meaning once you see this being a zone, because it's getting that consolidation, and I'll tell you this though, this isn't such a strong zone, but it is a zone at the end of the day, right? Let me see if we have anything else. Another thing here is, for example, um, say if this zone is not good enough, just because I mean it's not good enough, you can definitely label this one. This one you can definitely see. So say right here we have a zone. What you would be looking at is for an entry when the stock dips into the zone, right? So boom, 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 boom. And as we can see here, this thing is dipping. It dipped once, dipped twice, dipped 3 times, 4 times, and it took 4 times for it to actually take off, right? But we know, even though it's you know it's Christmas volume. We know this thing wants to move. Why? Because people are taking trades right now of a very strong supply and demand. So, uh, and then and then one last thing is when you have that break, right? You're gonna look at this and say like I'm taking an entry, and that's good, of course, but you always have to take in mind that this thing, before it actually runs, right? Because it won't just run up. It needs to have pullbacks to the nine, right? So we're gonna see SPY pull back to the nine. So um go right back below this level. And some may think, maybe it's reversing, and it could be reversing, right? But the ideal thing is for it to hit the 90 MA, bounce right back up, and go into it, right? So I'll tell you this: when it comes to boxing out, those are my really two favorite ways to do it. So pre-market highs and lows, and then the first 30 minutes of market open, just label it, because sometimes, like today, it helped a bit, but it didn't really help. But sometimes it will help a lot, right? Um, what else could I include? So when it comes to zones, to labeling the consolidation in the market, you want to focus really on the most obvious one, because at the end of the day, the detailed one you'll find when you're trading, right? Or at least that's how it should happen, right? Just by nature. So say we have SPY on the daily, right? So right now, I'll like what I want, like a zone that I definitely have on my chart is gonna be this high, right? So you always want to have that high, because the the stock is gonna maneuver with it and play with it a lot before even breaking, all right? And then let's see here. Let's go to the 30 minute to smaller time frame. Right? We can see here that this thing is having trouble breaking this point, right? So it bounced to this point. So we can see that this right here could be, a zone or something, right? Um, so that's basically how you label. Because it's as easy as just the easiest way actually to do it is, and I've done it like this before. Let me just is to label with the like actual lines, right? So like if you were not a trader, but basically with these you can see like, and this is really the easiest way to label, because there's it's just the easiest. But you can see how, like here for example, there's a bunch of things going on, right? So that's of course going to be a resistance here. That's going to be support or demand zone. Here we have a trend, so we'll know that's a trend. Then it broke the trend. Then it set a support right here. Boom, bounce, bounce, bounce right here. Resistance, bounce, bounce, break, retest, boom, right? And then here we have the new resistance. Here we have the new support. It's currently in a little bit of an uptrend, right? So what we really need to do is break this high nicely, right? Uh, so that's really the easiest way um to label, and simply explained, to label support and resistance. Um, so let me go back here and check on the 5 minute. We can see also, you guys, when you're trading options, you want to be checking between the 1 hour, the 30 minute, and all the way down, right? But you really want to look at the trade when you're in, mostly in the 1 minute. Um, But here, let me go back here. All right, so here I'm just gonna go ahead and label this again. It's not that obvious, but once you zoom in and look nicely, you can see the man zone right there, right? So now I'm gonna just activate my 90 ring. You see how we already got that bounce or almost got that bounce? That's what just gave it um a push, the momentum to push a bit more. And then what I really want to happen now, and it's gonna be even better than it just going up without stopping, is for it to retest. So go up a little bit more and retest this, and then from there, if it can do it, be gone all the way to the space. But yeah, that's really all I have in this, basically in the simplest terms possible, the simplest way, in the most simple way. Um, that's the way I would put on how to do SNR and demand and supply. Um, okay, is there any questions on that? All right. So I'll take that as a no. Oh yeah, so sorry, somebody's typing in the chat. No, no question. That was good.
He
Okay,
says yep.
so no questions, and um, yeah, that's all I got. Craig or Machete, do you have anything?
No, I
Uh,
pretty much already
hey,
said
I
my
was on.
piece.
I was
Legit.
gonna say